while the rest of the bracket gets played out. So very important for these two teams. What else? Anything interesting? Clutch Gamers smoking up at the beginning here. Y'all gonna come out planting a fairly conservative Berserk wards. Skylark, did he opt to block the camp? He did not. Just wants the vision, it looks like. If the supports leave the lane, he can actually put on a decent amount of pressure. Though I don't know if Fnatic are actually... Yeah, they're not really matching up the Terrorblade against the Bat Rider, it looks like. Or potentially not.
30 seconds.
Did actually... So they're having Abed go safe, and they're putting the Terrorblade mid? Is that the plan here? Does Terrorblade do very well against Lush mid? I wouldn't imagine so, but... It seems to be the laning plan from Fnatic. Captain Paladai's orders, potentially. Giving him control over the early game. I don't know. This is all sheer speculation. I'm not exactly sure. There you go. Envy looking like he is going to get the far better block since Lesh, for whatever reason, hung around all the way on this high ground. I guess they were just kind of suspicious of whatever was going on. They hadn't really scouted anybody. There's still a bounty all the way back here that Fnatic will presumably grab. Universe looking for the creep wave pull. Just want to make sure that he aggroes everybody, even though he did end up losing that melee creep anyway. DJ gonna tank the paralyzing cask, and Envy immediately popping the metamorphosis here at mid to start grabbing some initial CS. That's not necessarily renowned for his base damage, but already getting some harassment in onto Envy. I don't know. I feel like Fnatic are kind of sacking Abed a little bit here against the Bat, which is somewhat worrying. I guess they just want to make sure that Envy gets off to a good start. DJ for now still just content to kind of play up here at top. Trade some blows with y'all. Can always go into the Shadow Realm at any time and get himself out of there. Envy now just using the illusion to grab a little bit of extra CS here and there. Highlight Eye, 6-stack is sticky up on him. He is looking long dead. One more touch from Skylark is going to do it. Tried to do a little bit too much harassing and is going to end up paying for that with his life. Not a whole lot you can do as a disruptor in that situation, unfortunately. So far things looking all right for Clutch. I mean, we're only a couple of minutes in, but it's looking like Lesh is going to have the good start that I was kind of hoping that he would have. Abed, like pretty instrumental for the Fnatic side, is getting pressured a little bit, though not really showing up on his CS too much just yet. Universe is getting some farm, though. This is another one of these kind of everybody is maybe the position 2 kind of games. Nice dodge by Envy, gets out of the way of the Split Earth there. Baited, just spamming the lightning for all he's worth. And Pi, all right, done with getting sticky stacked. Just gonna retreat and start running a couple of pulls. It's like Aframoosh. Could try and make something happen at mid. Get the right shard block into a maybe level 2 Split Earth. Chase Envy down at that point. Doesn't have any wand charges just yet. Y'all also able to run a pull, but not going to be given the opportunity to connect it. DJ keeping watch over that. So this wave is going to double up a little bit, and it will end up pushing. Though the range creep fortunately does end up dying. Invis Rune for Aframoosh. He does have level 2. They can set up this stun nicely. They've also got the ice shards to follow it up. There's the shards along with the lightning straight into the stun. Snowball just to make sure of it. They won't even need to. Just the auto attack's enough to grab the kill. DJ now coming in, but both of these heroes way too healthy. And Fnatic even TPing over Pilot Eye, so Skylark gonna know that Abed is alone down here at bottom, but Creepo is pushing into him pretty heavily. Not a ton that he can do. Keep those sticky stacks up. Abed actually kind of willingly taking a bit of damage there, but does have a bunch of wand charges to fall back on. Another shard block attempted on the mid lane, but Envy just managing to sidestep that as DJ now turns up top, but you're not really ganking for this Void until he gets level 6. So looks like he's just here to maybe swipe a bit of experience and keep on going.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
DJ's still keeping an eye on things up here. Alright, Metamorphosis number 2. Looks like they're going to be pretty nice for Envy in terms of CS, but the wave is getting pretty heavily pushed in. Oh man, and look at that. This has got to be like perfect rune spawns back to back for Clutch, right? They get the Invis, which spawns top, which is much more difficult for Fnatic to contest than the bottom rune. They get it on Tusk and it nets them a kill. And now the Lesh finds himself a regen at 4 minutes. So the game itself is smiling on them right now. Abed with the toss back. Highlight Eye ready with the kinetic field, and looking like Skylark is a dead man. Snowball save attempted and looks like it might be successful. There is a glimpse ready for Pi. Drags Skylark back, and the tree toss from Abed finishes the kill. Nicely played. It looked a little bit awkward for a second there. It looked like Abed might not quite be able to get off the toss. Good job by Fnatic, and they will get themselves on the board here. They don't need luck. They got skills. Aftermush rotating around, but is being scouted out by this Radiant Observer Ward. Ooh, I'm gonna try and be a little bit sneaky with this obs placement, but it does get scouted, so it'd be a very easy D-ward for Fnatic. DJ even gonna come in here and grab some levels over at mid. Envy's actually heading straight into the jungle. Does not want to lane too much longer against the Lesh. This is a pretty interesting adjustment. I mean, DJ has definitely had core levels of farm before, and we've seen what core levels of farm and levels can do on Dark Willow. So I'm not too shocked at this decision. Does need to be a little bit careful. I think this Lesh could potentially kill him if he lands a stun, but Fnatic already making better use out of the map, right? If they don't get punished for this, then they are going to pull naturally a little bit ahead just because they're farming all 3 lanes and the jungle. Void even has 30 CS to his name. Universe has not gotten that much help up here, but they just don't really have that much kill pressure on him, especially while Afromush is all the way down bottom. Skylark just with the bottle, queuing up a fast blink this game. Envy and Pi rotating towards mid, 2 points up in the glimpse. Don't know if they're being scouted just yet. Dire scan. Have they seen them in the river? Looks like they have. All right, they're going to chase down onto the low ground. Shard's going to block them in. Welcome to the Thunderdome. Fade is just going to run forward with the Pulse Nova active. Highlight Eye's going to die after a couple more auto attacks. Envy also found Afromush. Right place, right time. 2 easy kills for their Leshrac. And Clutch Gamers coming out of the gate swinging. DJ tried to get involved there, but they were just stuck in such an awkward situation. They knew that Clutch didn't even have vision. It was just that Afromush happened to be rotating at the right time. They could have potentially taken the high ground themselves, which would have maybe mitigated that a little bit, but still. Well done for Clutch. Lesh starting to snowball somewhat. I come and tap this shrine with his team. Ajit hasn't queued up the Radiance just yet, but looking like that is the likely build at this stage. Just picking up some power treads so far. Does seem to be the overwhelmingly popular build at the moment. Universe laying in with a little bit of harassment. He does have the Chronosphere up now, so some kill potential there on the Lifestealer if they can drop his HP down a little bit. Chrono into a Cursed Crown. Would probably need some damage, but you know, at that point they could maybe TB could TP in and they could make something happen. And Abed, I mean, I said that he was getting sacked a little bit, but he's actually doing just fine. 1500 gold worth of progress towards his Shadow Blade. Faded trying to get that Lightning Storm off, but they will not be able to chase him down. If they get that Storm off, I think they probably get the Ice Shards, and then maybe they can go for that kill. Still, the Tiny is quite tanky, and Abed does have a 17 charge wand, so they're risking their lives going for that. Abed does actually have the full farming build so far this game. Just 4 points up in the tree grab. So this is going to take a little bit longer. They do rotate the Terrorblade. This is the Chrono plus the Dark Willow. Can they actually kill out the Lifestealer though? The Cursed Crown is not going to end up popping, and that means Ajit is actually able to turn this one around. They look for the Universe kill, but he's just going to go for the TP out. Faded even rotating up here. Lots of cores, lots of big cooldowns expended, and no kills on either side. First crown, just a little bit too long of a delay compared to the chronosphere duration. I mean, you have to cast it as the chronosphere lands, otherwise you're not going to get it. Nice attempt. Oh, y'all actually might be the prize here for Envy, just barely managing to limp away. Does still have some wand charges. You're just going to try for him. Gonna fog him out, and y'all's going to be all right. And Faded actually just going to be going for a Yule Scepter this game. Important that he has some kind of dispel against the time dilation. Ooh. Skylark actually going to get a solo kill on Abed down bottom. What the heck? Too many sticky stacks and a lasso. Alright. Guess he didn't have any target that he could toss the Batrider away to. My bad for not catching that one. Faded still being so active on his Leshrac this game. Yet another rotation. He's gone bottom. He's run up top. Now they're looking for Pylai over at mid. Looks like this kill will be successful. And they got the Maledict. Faded does grab it. Afromoosh blocking, and Envy's actually completely stuck. Look at this ice shards. Envy now finally getting unblocked. DJ gonna come in and help out a little bit, but Faded has managed to round the corner. Envy's got the Sunder. Looks towards Afromoosh, turning things around a little bit. Actually coming back into this fight. Universe needs to be careful. He's taking a lot of damage, and he used the Time Walk aggressively to get in here. That's just going to be a mega kill streak. DJ going to try for the TP out. He will be successful. But Fnatic bleeding kills across the map. Man, that Ice Shard's block was so nice. But they didn't have to come... They didn't have to go back in. I don't know what Universe was hoping to accomplish there. The Bramble Maze was not that much of an obstacle to the Lesh. Alright, well, Fnatic gonna have to put some hopes in this Tiny and his ability to kind of bring them back into this game, I suppose. Not that far behind, but just not really able to make that many plays just yet. They do have the level 6 on the Disruptor. Looks like Pylai hasn't even used the Tome yet. Alright, so there's levels that he grabbed mid, working out pretty nicely. Should be able to go and grab a kill somewhere with that. It's not like Fnatic don't have any tools to be able to grab kills, but they're just kind of getting outmaneuvered. We're probably not expecting this Lesh to play so aggressively. Alright. Afromoosh down at mid. Got Glimpse back. And they committed the Static Storm for that. Lifesteal are going to come TPing in to try and defend this. Witch Doctor also thinking about how he can approach. Ajit feeling confident with the Rage, but the Metamorphosis is still there. Skylark does have his Blink now. And the Lasso off cooldown. So Pylai, a fortunate man that he chose to back off when he did. Otherwise he might have gotten caught and brought down. Fnatic. Alright. They threaten mid a little bit, but it's just to make some space. Universe gonna come and grab some farm up top. He's going for a Dominator this game. Ajit just gonna be forced to deny out the mid tier 1. So Fnatic still get that little bit of extra map control at the end of the day. And alright, Skylark. First smoke gank with the Blink Dagger. Hoping to find somebody over in the Radiant jungle. Ooh, but Abed has his Shadow Blade now, and do they actually have any detection? They do not. Oh, man. 3 points up in the Edict. Faded making quick work of that tier 1 tower. They want Envy over at mid. Gonna jump in. There's the Lasso back. Where's the little bit of additional lockdown that they need? He might just get the Sunder off here. Get the Flame Break back. Envy gonna try for the TP out. Can he make it? He won't be able to. Afromoosh not even needed with that Snowball. Just too much damage. Envy's still on Agi Treads. But, I mean, looking at how that Firefly was ticking him down, and then they had the Infest damage, looks like they were just fine. Such a prized kill for Clutch to be able to grab. They are going to end up losing their own tier 1 tower up top in the process, but... Well, looking good. Abed, already with the Shadow Blade, has another 1,500 gold towards a Blink Dagger, but still hasn't really made any moves just yet on the map. There are plenty of heroes that he can solo kill over on the Clutch side. Oh, and he did actually solo kill the Lesh. That's how he has so much gold. Missed that in the while the Envy kill was happening. All right, there you go. We do have the Shadow Blade being unveiled. He is going to be going for an Echo Saber. Lesh, despite being quite farmed, still hasn't really found too much more. I mean, it's 5-1 and 0. It was a very valuable kill to get, but just doesn't have that first defensive item or anything just yet. And still quite a squishy build. Like no early point booster or vip booster or anything. He's just gonna straight up queue up the rest of the Bloodstone. So he's made up his mind. DJ's also been finding a bit of farm in the meantime. Envy's getting sacked a little bit, but everybody else on Fnatic seems to be doing decently. Some very aggressive wards planted by Clutch. Setting up for some future rotations, perhaps. They have lost a little bit of momentum in the last couple of minutes. Part of that is that they're waiting for the Lifestealer to be a little bit more relevant. I mean, he's only got a Sacred Relic sitting in his inventory right now. Skylark. Okay, they've got a Dust now. Hoping to find this kill on the Tiny, but Fnatic do have more heroes down here at bottom, and they've also got the Chronosphere ready to go. Envy could be a very easy kill. If they spot him, they're going to see him on this Observer Ward in just a second. They see the creeps getting cleared. Who they actually managed to find? Looks like it might just be Pi who ends up being jumped. They get the lasso out. Universe taking down to the Edict. He's just going to run for it. They leave Pi for dead. And Faded will end up grabbing that kill. Universe straight back to shoving out lanes. Looks like this kind of seems to be the plan for Fnatic. Despite the pickoff threat from Clutch, they're staying spread pretty thin. They're just farming, and they are actually building up a little bit of a net worth lead while they're doing all of this. I do feel like the net worth on Tiny is a little bit deceptive. He is going to fall off a little bit later on into the game, but Abed surely going to find a couple of kill opportunities. And yeah, now going to be teaming up with Pi. Can easily find kills around the map. Could even get the Lifestealer potentially. Pi comes running forward, spots out the Leshrac, got some connect field combos, Snowball won't be able to save him. Aframush tried for it, but now he's the one who's caught inside the brambles, getting glimpsed back. Abed waiting for him. Can anyone else come in here from Clutch and help him out? Looks like maybe not. Aframush tried to turn around for the shards, but gets stunned at the last moment. And down he goes. Skylark takes to the skies, but it's just to farm some creeps. It looks like Fnatic are going to start ganking their way back into this game. Do they have a Metamorphosis ready for Envy? No, 30 seconds to go on that. He's just farming up over in the Dire jungle. And we still have the Chrono in reserve as well for Universe. So Fnatic actually building up quite a few pickoff tools of their own. Looking like y'all is quite dead down here. Yeah, they're just going to use the Chrono for this. Universe wants the kill. He's going to get it with that final bash. DJ even coming in. Getting a little bit of experience for that one. A little bit of gold. Almost has a veil, in fact. This is one very farmed Dark Willow. Ooh, they're looking for Envy, but Abed's found Skylark first. Does manage to make his way back up onto the high ground. Man, Bat. Here's the thing. Clutch gamers spent so much time securing the Bats early game. Like, Aframush spent a ton of time bottom, really making sure that Skylark had an okay start, and the Batrider hasn't paid them back at all. Really, it feels like. They do have their Radiance up on the Lifestealer now, so I could see an Infest gank there. Perhaps Paladai nicely sharded in. They're looking for him. Chucks the Glimpse back. I don't even know what that was on. Looks like Aframush may have just dodged it with the Snowball. Actually, no, Glimpse back the Leshrac. That might save him for a few more seconds, but it's not going to save his life. And now, Clutch Gamers, alright. Finding their timing a little bit. They've got the Ancient Granite Golem. Are they going to look for more? Envy just popping the Metamorphosis to farm some creeps, and he's now getting run at. Sticky stacked up a bit. Blink's still on cooldown for quite some time. They get in range for the Snowball chasing forward. Universe is here. He doesn't have a Chrono. Will be able to throw out a time dilation, and they turn around a little bit. Envy still on the run. Universe time walks away. They're still just sticking up Envy to now get the drag back. He's got the Thunder, but it's only going to save him for another couple of seconds if he manages to get it off at all. And down he goes. Fnatic were trying to run over there to help him out, but can they actually get anything now? They're all standing right on top of the Dire Observer Ward, which they have unfortunately been unable to get rid of.
I thank you.
Okay. It's actually Clutch who are going to go scatter and back to farm position. Still trailing a little bit in terms of the net worth. Ajit is going to be going for that Medallion Solar Crest build. We've been seeing it quite a bit recently. And Abed almost there with his Echo Saber. That's another Firefly. I guess why not use this Firefly to push waves? You don't have lasso for 46 seconds. May as well. Gonna be pretty important if Clutch Gamers can to get the Aegis over on the Lesh. I think it's gonna be pretty difficult for him to commit into these fights otherwise. I'm just picturing him getting caught in the Static Storm or getting Avatar. So Going to be important if they can get that on him, but they are going to have to win a fight to do that. You do not want to fight Fnatic near the pit. There's glimpses, there's AoE from Disruptor, there's AoE from Tiny, there's Terrorize plus Brambles. It's really not a fun situation. Envy still on recovery farm mode, just popping Metamorphosis. They continue farming Ancients. I mean, they've already taken all the tier 1s, so not a huge deal. Fnatic with their signature move, splitting up the map, generating a little bit of a lead. They do still need to keep trying to find kills with this Tiny while he's in his prime. Not really worth it for Abed to just sit around and farm, so Hai and Abed linking up. As soon as they find somebody, they are definitely dead. And ooh, that should be a sweet prize if they could grab it. They're going to jump in. Avatar's combo. He does have the yields. Can buy himself another couple of seconds. But it's going to be Static Storm and Brambles waiting for him. The Fnatic turn their backs, knowing that he is long dead. Over at mid, they're looking for Universe. They've already used the lasso. He's still surviving for now. Turns around, just going to use the defensive Chronosphere to be able to escape. And looks like that should get him out of there. Aframush is still keen to keep on running forward, but the rest of the team has already backed off. Back to farm stations for them. Batrider continues to just not really find anything. Oh, y'all getting whomped. Abed kills him, and Fnatic setting up some great vision. Even if you deward one of these wards, I think you're very unlikely to get both. So they're going to have some vision over in this tri-camp area for the next little bit, and that's where Lesh wants to be farming. But if he's completely cut off from that, and Fnatic are keeping them away from bottom, then that's going to be trouble. Abed, though, now in a little bit of danger over at mid, gets blocked in by the shards. Ajit's going to come through as well. Universe does everything they can, but it's just a time dilation. Has to say, see ya, friend. And it will be a kill handed over to the lifesteal. So Tiny still doing his job. They're trying to hand things over to Envy to take over the game on his Terrorblade. Getting towards his BKB, looking like that should be the big timing, but with the Tiny pick off, Clutch do head over into the pit. They don't have the Solar Crest just yet, it's only a medallion, but they are still going to try for this here. The Lesh bringing quite a bit of damage of his own, Aframush tanking it up. It looks like they might end up losing a tier 2 tower for this one, as you have dominated Siege Creep from Universe, a very common sight at the moment. But it's going to be so nice if they can get this Aegis on the Lesh or the Lifestealer. Oh, they're running out of damage. The Mono Lesh, not much damage left. Looks like they will still get it in the end. Have Fnatic cottoned on to what's happening yet? I think they probably know, but maybe aren't even that concerned. Yeah, they're just... I think they're just picturing that they have control over this section of the map. And so long as they control this, then they can't come and farm this if you're on Clutch. And that just means no matter what happens, they're going to be building up a kind of slow, steady net worth advantage. Clutch are doing everything that they can. The Lifestealer is farming Ancients. They're making sure to kind of eke every little bit that they can out of their side of the map. But Fnatic just with a little bit more map control, so long as they hold on to this tri-camp area and keep them out of their own jungle. It's also not so much... like, the only other thing is it's not just about not being able to farm this because it's under control by Fnatic, but they can't really come over and farm this. There's tier 1 still up here. They will eventually be able to open that up, but for now, Fnatic's still just a little bit more efficient across the board. Universe going to be going for an Ag, so you can kind of start to see this timing being formulated by Fnatic, right? They got a blink coming up before too long. Abed's going to go for the BKB, so lining up 2 BKBs on the cores along with the Ag's Chrono. Definitely looking to make full use of the Terrorblade BKB. And should be around the same time as... well, it'll be probably a little bit after the Aegis fades, but still, will definitely be a strong timing for Fnatic. And they're even going to be able to force them back at bottom since this tier 2 is already down. Cardi makes his way up onto the high ground. Somebody at the very least forced back to TP and defend. Y'all needing to be a little bit careful. You are playing against Disruptor. Gotta think about your TPs. I don't think he cares too much if he gets glimpsed back though. Oh, jump in. What are they looking for? Scarlark hasn't actually been able to find anybody. He's got the infested lifesteal. They do now spot Abed. Can they burst him down? Universe thinking about the Chronosphere. Does drop it down, but Abed still gonna get his TP canceled. Unfortunately, Faded coming in with the Yules. That was a pretty big commitment to try and save the Tiny, and Fnatic just gonna scatter, go and push out the lane. keep on farming towards that timing. This should be Clutch able to get something. Lifestealer probably pushes at bottom and then meets them over at mid. He's not the one with the Aegis, but he's not really all that vulnerable either when Tiny's dead and Chronosphere is on cooldown. So he can quite easily shove this out, go and join the rest of the team. 15 Bloodstone charges for the Lesh. And we are going to have a quick pause. 12, a Veil, and a Blink Dagger. Ooh, faded. Looking towards Pi. Easy stun, easy Pulse Nova damage. Pi maybe losing track of things a little bit, making some shot calls while that pause is going on. So he will die, dead for 30 seconds. I think Clutch, we're probably going to get this tier 2 tower more or less for free regardless, especially since the Chronosphere is still on cooldown for another 60 seconds. But still nice to be picking up those additional Bloodstone charges. And they get onto this tier 2 tower pretty quickly. Envy doing his best with the illusions, keep the wave cut, get some pressure onto this tier 2, but he's nowhere near that tower himself. He is not going to risk a Batrider pickoff, and for good reason. Skylark is hunting for him right this second. They're scanning. They are all over Envy, but he's just playing that tiny bit more defensively. Oh, are they going to find him now? The Firefly's still up. Envy! He thought that he had avoided them. He does have the Sunder. Gets it off now. Going to BKB and just try for the TP out. That's a really costly escape for him. But, alright. I guess he had to BKB, right? Otherwise, he would have gotten snowballed by the Tusk. Fnatic just trying to wait out this Aegis. It's costing them a lot, though. It's cost them a Chrono. It's cost them the 10-second BKB on the Terrorblade. And the Clutch should now probably just set their sights on that top tier 2. Do have to be a little bit careful about how they do it, pushing out past the river. But for now, they are all just going to be sitting behind their Lesh. Only 1k gold to go on the Faceless Void. Picking up his Aghanim Scepter. Faded's BKB is getting close. Both teams are scaling a lot. Oh, Batrider actually picking up a gem for the team. Alright, nice. They know that Fnatic are trying to split them up, so just dewarding them is actually a really nice way to keep Fnatic on the back foot. Team DC'd real fast. Give it a second. Oh, Aegis is being reclaimed. This is a really bad time, OBS. Oh boy. Alright, we are on backup strats here. Oh, DJ's going for it. They get the Terrorize over under the Batrider. He won't be able to do anything. Universe jumps forward, gets the Chronosphere out of the 2. He also traps his own Dark Willow. Not great for him. Lifestealer in some trouble. Inside the Chrono does get brought down. Envy just standing on the edge, laying in with the damage. Afromush, one more touch is going to bring him down, and Envy does find it over on the other side of the fight. They try to lock in Skylark, but he does manage to keep the gems safe, but they can't keep their Leshrac alive. Good toss back from Abed. Oh man, what's their delay set? Come on. Y'all getting glimpsed back. They're also gonna find one more. Fnatic, amazing team fight, finding all 4, and now heading straight forward. They knew that this was their timing. They have the BKB, they have the Terrorblade Metamorphosis. They completely catch Clutch Gamers off guard, and as soon as they lose that Lifestealer, the team fight just completely crumbles. They're even looking at this Lesh. He comes out a little bit from the base, and now Fade's in trouble. He pops the BKB, but is that going to be enough to save him? Looks like it will. Dodges that little bit of extra magical damage coming in from the Dark Willow.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh my god.
Tempest of battle. Stonefall.
All right, so now the delay on the stream is insanely long, but at least you guys will get to see that fight. It's going to be very confusing, though, because the stream's going to go offline for a little bit. Ah, man. All right, I'm just going to keep going with this. This is... Oh, no. All right, sorry about that, guys. We're back. You missed a really big team fight. Fnatic smoked up. They came over here. They got 4 kills. They almost picked off the Lesh again. They're now not completely in control of this game just yet, but Clutch backing up.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Fnatic just gonna head into the pit. Envy's got a double damage. Oh man. And Clutch are just sitting on their high ground. Lesh doesn't feel like he can do anything. The Lifestealer is apparently not actually able to stand her out of these fights. They've now got the Aghanim Scepter up on their Thyrsus board as well. So team fighting is just insanely difficult at this point, and Fnatic, despite only having a relatively slight gold lead, just feel like they've taken complete control over this game. Clutch are going to go for another smoke as they make their way out. What can they actually find? Envy with an Orchid. He's got the Aegis, so they can't really focus on him. They have to try and find these backlines, but it's just always going to be so difficult. Somebody on Fnatic is going to get their spells off. Pretty much no matter what. Abed's now got the cheese. One more touch is going to kill off this tier 2. Nice and easy. Doesn't even need to disable the backdoor protection. Clutch Gamers, they've used the Firefly. This is a pretty big commitment for them. Skylark sees a couple of wards up here on the high ground. Also getting scouted out by the Ogre Frostmage. Envy just running forward, hoping to get the reflection off. They might even be able to find a glimpse, but Pilot Eye unwilling to leave his perch up here on the high ground. They want to try and bait Clutch into the choke point. And while they're up here, why not just keep farming? Just keep on building up this lead. 6k. Terrorblade already with a completed Bloodthorn. Oh my god. Anybody that gets chronoed is just going to get annihilated. Aframoosh is trying for a Lotus Orb, but I think it's going to be a little bit too late. I don't know. Ajit does have a Manta, but if he's stuck in the chrono, that's not going to help him. And we're talking about a 60-second chrono at this point. So all they got to do is they got to chrono one target, Bloodthorn that guy, and I don't see how he has any chance of surviving, unless they somehow manage to lock down Envy during that time. This bat pick feeling like I think it's a really good pick in theory against Fnatic. Their style is, if you let them do it, they will split push you. And in theory, Batrider is a great hero to find pickoffs against those split pushers, but not really working out. Universe gonna snipe the Dire Courier, and y'all looks like he might escape. Skylark just barely able to TP out. They don't even want this Witch Dart to kill. They oh, poor y'all getting bashed instantly, but they will take it.
Are you ready to rumble?
Fnatic just getting these lanes pushed in. Clutch doing everything that they can to grab these next couple of items. At least they kept the gem in that previous fight, so able to keep dewarding their side of the map and making a little bit more space for this Lifestealer to farm. Ajit is just going for a Nullifier at this stage. Would give them what they need to potentially kill off the Terrorblade or the Tiny. But this net worth lead continues to grow. The Terrorblade now taking the #1 spot. Fnatic knew what they needed to do. Abed chilled out. He got his farm in the early game. He went and got a couple of kills. He knew that he didn't need to be too stressed about, you know, the plan isn't for him to carry the game. The plan was for him to make space for Envy to do his thing, and Envy has done his thing on Terrorblade. I'm very surprised that teams are willing to give Fnatic this hero, because everybody seems to think like, oh yeah, we'll just pick Lesh, or we'll pick Tinker, or we'll pick Zeus. We'll get one of these AoE magical damage heroes, and that'll be the answer against Terrorblade. And it just continues to really not work. Fnatic smoking along with their creep wave here. Universe ready to jump in and find that initiation. Has that Chronosphere at the ready. They still have the Aegis up for another minute or so. So definitely important that they find something in the next couple of Next couple of rounds. Clutch. Know what Fnatic might be up to. They're going to go. They jump in onto Pilot. Can they get him all the way up onto the high ground? Looks like they will be able to, and that's just another Bloodstone charge for Faded. Not a huge loss for Fnatic, but actually a big enough loss in the sense that they now won't be able to take a full 5-on-5 before the Aegis expires. Fnatic are no strangers when it comes to a farming Aegis, and I think they're feeling pretty confident that they've got Clutch trapped up inside of their base. But Clutch playing nicely with the gem, getting these pickoffs, delaying things a little bit, and who knows, maybe they can find an opportunity a little bit later on in the game. They have to survive through these BKBs for a little bit. That's going to be the big problem, I think.
Got it.
Ooh, Disruptor has nags. What do you know? How did I got it? We saw him queue it up, what, 30 minutes ago. Didn't really look like he was gonna be all that successful, but there you go. Even more teamfight tools for Fnatic. DJ is even gonna be going for a Hex now. Yeah, I'm trying to picture how the ideal teamfight is for Clutch. And it's not even a team fight. It's just like Envy standing by himself in the river. The rest of the team is all the way up here. And then they just solo kill Envy. Like, other than that, there's just always going to be some kind of disruption. Envy's not that tanky with his build, but I mean, they've given him the cheese. He's got the BKB. He is going to be tough to bring down. Do they have the Nullifier on the Lifestealer yet? They could grab it. Ajit may be wanting to have buyback here so they can fight after the Chronosphere gets used. Alright. What are they going to go for? Abed now has a Daedalus picked up. I think this is just the right build on Tiny. I don't know if, like, I think S and Y and stuff are a little bit underwhelming. As a Tiny, you're not going to man fight anyone. You're going to go into the fight, you're going to drop both your spells, you're going to hit somebody once, and then you're going to try and back up and reset. So I think this is definitely the right way to play it. Why not get 2 huge punches with the Daedalus? I got a BKB for Skylark. Not going to help him much in the face of the Terrorblade's damage, but still definitely needs it against the control from the Dark Willow. Well, not so much the control from the Disruptor. That Static Storm is going to be a big problem for these BKB heroes. Still have a 9-second BKB on the Lesh, so he can pop it pretty early in the fights, but if he gets caught, he can't do anything. Can't even pop the Bloodstone Suicide. Fnatic really just camping for runes. They know that this game is important. The series is important. This game is important. They really want to just take this best of 3, cruise their way through into the semis. This is the qualifier for a major. So if they feel like they can just win this one by grinding it out and continuing to farm, then more power to them. We're going to send the illusions over towards top. Envy looking to slow siege this, though not going to be very easy into the Lesh. Kind of sending him a couple more illusions worth of farm. Nullifier could be a big deal. Definitely gives the lifesteal a little bit more burst potential, though the save from Fnatic isn't necessarily coming from their own items, just coming from the team being able to help them out. DJ also picking up a gem. Both teams getting all the D wards. Got a couple of lifestealer illusions pushing out bottom, but we got Terrorblade illusions cutting the wave. And both teams just kind of standing around. High ground is scary. I guess they're just waiting for Aegis. Nope, Ahmed's jumped in. He's found Faded. One more touch is going to do it. Universe also mentioned to catch the Chrono onto Y'all. I don't think they really want to kill him, but Envy's going to take it. Well, why not? Clutch finally coming outside of their base, and they're going to regret that. It looks like Skylark does manage to get a good blink away after the glimpse, but they've already lost 2. No buybacks available. Envy, plenty of Metamorphosis duration. Now looks towards the high ground. There is a glyph available. They're going to pop that one out, but as soon as that fades, I think Envy Just gonna make quick work of this tier 3. They're gonna jump in with Skylark. Can they burst down Eternal Envy? It looks like they won't be able to. He's actually muted. He can't get the cheese off. He won't be able to use the Sunder either. Envy's dead. Abed trying to continue the fight. They buy back on the Witch Doctor. Ajit getting feared back into his own base. And Fnatic will be successfully repelled. That's only a support buyback.
Time flies.
All right. Thought the Static Storm counter initiation was going to do a little bit more, but Envy just got shredded. Guess he needs the butterfly. All right, for Fnatic, it's back to farm stations. PJ's almost level 18, so he's going to get even scarier with the max level in Bedlam. Universe is just going for an MKB so he can do some damage of his own. And Lifestealer now with another 3k gold. Actually, very difficult. Well, not difficult to kill, but doing a lot of damage at this stage. And they're already on the prowl again. That's the one nice thing that they do have going for them. Nice short cooldown on the Flaming Lasso. Actually, still a longer cooldown than the Chronosphere, given that they do have the Aghanim Scepter, but... Skylark, who can he find? DJ on the back lines wouldn't be a bad target. Abed also good. Shard's gonna scatter a couple. Fnatic now knowing what position that they're in. They've actually managed to find Envy. Once again on the back lines, they've got the chain stun, the Chronosphere trying to defend him, but it looks like that actually just gonna end up being his grave. He will buy back. They're gonna try and keep them here. Abed continues to fight. One more punch on Phase. It doesn't actually get the crit. DJ also trying to finish him off, but the BKB just barely blocking that Shadow Realm hit. They are going to try and disengage, and looks like they will be successful. Faded. Tree toss. Slows him down a little bit. DJ jumps in. They will get y'all pretty much immediately. Throwing creeps as they go. But Fnatic, they expended a buyback on the Terrorblade for this. Like, Envy does know that Roshan had respawns, so they will be able to give him an Aegis instead of this cheese. He immediately pops the Metamorphosis to claim this as quickly as they possibly can. Chrono's going to be back up in 18 seconds time. Abed with a double damage, just going to keep out mid lane. They are going to go for him. Jump in snowball from Afromush. Abed in some trouble, nullified up. He'll be brought down. Have they even finished the Roshan? Envy, it's still above half, or it's still just below half HP, doing just fine. Chronosphere is back up. Abed's gonna buy back. He's gonna use it. Fnatic, this is not looking very disciplined from them. But one good chrono could be all that they need. Envy still about a third of the duration of the Metamorphosis. They are just going to commit. Envy, oh, he's just barely outside of the Chronosphere, able to bring down the Batrider. He bites back, faded. Now trapped, also stuck inside with the Terrorize. He can't get his BKB off. He can't get his Yules off. Envy's going to get a triple kill. Clutch now throwing everything that they have into this. They buy back. Envy's going to make quick work of Roche with the Bloodthorn. They want this Aegis. Afromush, can he get for any kind of a steal? Skylark tries for it. They've got the Aegis onto Envy. The reflection comes out. Ajit going to keep on fighting. They get the toss onto Envy. He's now in the middle of Clutch Gamers, but he does have the Aegis. Universe back into the fray once again. Skylark gets the lasso out onto Envy, but he's now used his BKB, and he's also got the refreshing charge along with two cheeses. Ajit is trapped. He gets hit by the Cursed Crown, and he gets brought down. He's the last person on Clutch who has a buyback, but I don't know if that's going to matter if they lose everybody else. Faded. A couple more auto attacks. DJ chasing him down with the Shadow Realm. He finds a double kill. Fnatic, enough resources at the end of the day. Some great play from the Dark Willow, connecting the Terrorize into that Static Storm kinetic field. Fnatic just way too much AoE team fight, and they will now march their way forward, heading straight onto the tier 4s. They are wasting no time at all. Lifestealer still has that buyback, but it looks like Clutch, I don't know, perhaps a little bit too rattled. Lifestealer knows that he can't really go into this fight. They're going to try anyway. Afromush jumps in aggressively. They kill off Pylai. Ajit now resetting, but their base is under attack. Faceless Forge does not have enough mana just yet for the Chronosphere. Universe is waiting for this Lotus Orb to reach it and back up. Ajit focusing onto Abed. Looks like they will be able to bring down the tiny Eternal Envy actually with the saving play. Now as the Chronosphere comes through, they kill off one more. Lifestealer getting stunned. Does have the rage, turning his attention over towards Universe. Fnatic, maybe they've bitten off a little bit more that they can chew here. Ajit actually defending the base. Ooh, Abed wanted that kill. The Lifestealer dies at this point. That should be game. They're gonna go for the terrorize. They've actually got the fear under the life stealer. He didn't pop the rage. Abed looks like he might still end up going down. Skylark does manage to finish him. Eternal Envy jumping forward aggressively, but Ajit able to jump out. They actually get DJ. That's both of the gems hitting the deck. Universe is gonna try and focus out of the Ancient. Eternal Envy doing the same. Fnatic, I thought this was gonna be a clean end, but perhaps not. Ajit doesn't have the mana. They're focusing on the Skylark. Buyback from DJ. Clutch Gamers. Alright, they put up a fight at the very end, but it looks like they will end up losing their throw. Faden's still fighting though. Can they actually kill off Envy? He gets the Sunder off, and Pylai die along with the Universe, focusing to the throne. They finally finish it. Alright, well, you missed that one fight. I'm sorry about that.